Hey, yo, what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 10:07 a.m. You know what I mean? But the upload time is about 4:30 p.m. You know what I mean? May 23rd, 2025. You know what I'm saying? Before I do anything, I just want to give and I hate doing this, not really hate, but like when you break up with somebody who, by the way, you know you didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? And you still love that person. I'm not going to mention this person's name, but it's a female, a beautiful female, dark-skinned female, my ex-fiance. You know what I mean? I'm not going to mention her name, but she's definitely from where I live at. You know what I mean? Around the Fort, she was from the Fort Greene, Clinton Hill area. And so happy birthday to her. Tomorrow she turns 40. You know what I mean? She turns 40. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what I'm going to say. But back to what I wanted to say. So what I want to talk about is WrestleMania and a report that I actually put up, a little short report that I actually put up, on the Tag PW News, on the Tag PW News Twitter account. For those, please subscribe, by the way. The link is where you see in the screen. So please subscribe. So, current plans call for WWE to hold WrestleMania in Las Vegas on a regular basis, which tells me that I don't think WWE WrestleMania is going to be going from city to city moving forward. I don't know. I don't know. If they're talking about doing it, and mind, this is from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, by the way, from Dave Meltzer. Right, so I don't know if that's the actual plan and such, and I get why. I get why. I get why because the UFC is in Vegas. You know what I mean? Like their headquarters are in Vegas. So holding WrestleMania in Vegas on a regular basis, there's positives, but there's also negatives. There's positives, but there's also negatives. To me, the positives are, okay, I understand this is a TKO thing. I understand this is an Endeavor thing. All right, maybe they want to hold this event for economic purposes. Maybe they feel like they can save money, but they make a lot of money. They make a lot of fucking money, doing WrestleManias in other parts of the country. Right, but I think that's why they are. I'm sorry if I say That's probably why they are doing this. To save bread, and they figure, okay, well, fuck it. We could just keep booking this at in Las Vegas, and we can save a boatload of money by doing cost cutting measures and such, right? That definitely is a positive in my personal opinion, right? And of course, it's Vegas, and Vegas is always hot in Vegas. It's always it's never a cold day in Vegas ever. And of course, you got casinos and everything else, right? And of course, like I said, the UFC. Endeavor basically has their UFC headquarters there in Vegas. So I guess they want to, and again, this is just me thinking out loud. Maybe they probably want to connect both, a UFC event and WrestleMania down in Vegas, right? So that's a positive in my personal opinion. The negative, I think there are a lot more negatives in this than positives. Oh yeah, let me go back to another positive. Double or nothing, right? Double or nothing. AEW double or nothing, right? Remember, it was in Vegas and such. I guess they figured that, okay, well, fuck it. We now own Vegas. Now, AEW will never come to Las Vegas again for a show. Fuck them. That's what I'm also thinking too. But the negatives, there are negatives. To me, some of those negatives are now you're basically taking away cities from competing at WrestleMania, from competing for WrestleMania, not at WrestleMania, but competing for WrestleMania. So like, let's say let's say like, I don't know, London wants a WrestleMania, right? You basically take that away, right? Indianapolis, you take that away. Nashville, you take that away. You know what I mean? Atlanta, you take that away. Orlando, you take that away. I think that's definitely a negative. In my personal opinion, I do believe that's a negative. What else could be a negative from this too? A negative is, it won't feel the same every single year. Every single fucking year, it won't feel the same. Having WrestleMania sorry about that. You know what I mean? Like I had a fucking call just now. It takes away the feeling of having a WrestleMania. You know what I mean? It does. In Las Vegas, it's like, all right, I can't eat turkey every fucking day. I can't. Now, I can't eat turkey every year. I like turkey, but for me, when it comes down to Thanksgiving, like I actually like the chicken more than the turkey. I like turkey, don't get me wrong, but turkey, you know what I mean? But, to me, I like other aspects of the food, like macaroni cheese and collard greens and such, right? So eating turkey every year is not the best. So it's the same shit here. Having WrestleMania every year is not the best. Now, as I read more, they say it might not be on a regular basis and such. But for what I see, it said, it said moving forward. It said moving forward, But again, this is probably Meltzer just talking this bullshit. Yeah, this is Meltzer talking this bullshit and such, right? Well, no, let me take that back. They didn't say permanently. They didn't say permanently. They said on a regular basis, but they didn't say permanently. So I don't know what that means. A regular basis and such, or I don't know what the fuck they mean by regular basis. If it's not permanently, then what the fuck does regular basis mean? I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, under the comment section. You know what I mean? I definitely will be coming with another video tonight too. Now, I mean, game 2 of the Knicks and Pacers is tonight. I hope the Knicks get their ass whooped, boy. I whip their head, boy. You know the deal. I whip their head, boy. With the back of the steel. I love that fucking record from 50. I miss that. I miss 2000s, G Unit 50. I miss that so fucking much. I'm about to holler at y'all. All right? Peace.